When did you realize you had a privileged childhood? I honestly never thought my childhood was anything special growing up. Like, we lived in a nice house in a good neighborhood, went on vacations during school breaks, and I had my own bedroom with all the toys I wanted. But I just thought that was normal. My parents never really talked about money, and all my friends at my private school lived pretty similar lives. It wasn't until my sophomore year of college that it really hit me. I was hanging out with my new friend Emily, who I'd met in my psychology class. We were studying for midterms at her apartment off campus, and I was complaining about how my parents were being totally unreasonable because they wouldn't pay for me to study abroad in Paris the next semester unless I got all A's this term. Emily got really quiet and then just said, "Aubrey, do you have any idea how lucky you are that your parents can even consider paying for you to study abroad?" And I was like confused because in my mind, parents just paid for college and trips. That's what parents did. Then Emily told me she was working 2 jobs while taking a full course load, that she had taken out massive loans and that she hadn't been able to visit her family in over a year because she couldn't afford the plane ticket home. She wasn't angry or anything, just matter of fact about it all. I felt my face get hot and I remember stammering something about how I knew I was fortunate, but TBH, I had no idea. None. Zero. It was like this curtain had been pulled back and suddenly I could see my whole life differently. After that conversation, I started noticing things, like how I'd never had to check my bank account before buying something, how I'd never had to choose between textbooks and groceries, how I'd never even thought about how much my education was costing. I noticed how some of my classmates were exhausted from working night shifts, while I was tired from staying up late watching Netflix. I realized that when my laptop broke last year, I just called my dad and had a new one 2 days later, while other students were panicking about how to complete assignments without a computer. The thing that really got me, though, was when I mentioned to Emily that I'd never had a job before college. She looked at me like I was speaking another language. She'd been working since she was 14. When I was 14, I was at summer camp learning to sail. It's been years since that conversation, but I think about it a lot. I wish I could say I immediately became this super aware, socially conscious person. But the truth is, it took time. And I'm still learning. My parents aren't even like super rich or anything. We didn't have a yacht or a private jet, but we had so much that I took for granted. Health insurance, dental care, vacations, new clothes whenever I wanted them, a car when I turned 16, the assumption that I'd go to whatever college I wanted. I remember calling my mom after that study session with Emily and trying to explain what I was feeling. She just didn't get it. She said something like, "We worked hard to give you those things. You shouldn't feel bad about it." But that wasn't it. I didn't feel bad for having those things. I felt bad for never recognizing how unusual they were.